Okay, there we go. Sweet. So this is the website. And I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. There it is. So this is what you see when you go to OADAMSMUSIC.com. And I like to make a nice picture at the front there, just so everybody knows which Owen Adams we're talking about. I'm sure there's more than one. Down here, we have the albums. We have new albums. We have old albums. There's the 3 most recent ones right here. And if you click on each one of these, it takes you to the page where you can buy it. And that helps me out, because then that allows me and Jessica here to eat some dinner this month. So we appreciate that. Anyway, this is just the homepage. It might look a little bit different, by the way, on your smartphone or tablet of your choice. So here's the really cool part. At the top of the page here, what we got is different stuff that you can do on the website. So it's not just a, hey, everybody, look at me. This is about you guys. So this is all the things that you can do while you're hanging out on the website. There's actually things to do. So here we have some information about studio lessons. That would be in-person lessons. We also have online lessons. Most of my lessons these days are going to be online. And so I have this included in the learning portion of the website. Now, if you don't have time for a weekly lesson slot, no worries, because there are plenty of ways to learn at your own pace. So first thing, I have some playlists here. If you don't have the time to sit here and scroll, and you want to just kind of have a little bird's eye view here, every one of these playlists will take you to a YouTube playlist where you'll have a series of videos that are on each of these topics. Lick of the day, if you're a little bit of a more advanced kind of guy and you're just looking for some of the secret sauce, some of the stuff that will really jazz up your playing, some little tricks from the greatest piano players that I've ever listened to. Guys like Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, George Duke, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of great, legendary musicians. That's what Lick of the Day is. We have music career advice. This is our podcast. This is me and Connor sharing some wisdom that we've accumulated over the years, playing in various bands, various groups, and we share some information about how to market yourself, how to promote shows, how to do your ad copy, how to market albums that you released, how to set up your own sites just like this one, and how to not feel like you have to be attached to a major label. And of course, the subscribe over here, if you click that, that'll take you to the subscription page on YouTube. And real quick about the podcast here, a lot of folks think that they need a major record label deal. And this is one of the major issues that we deal with on the show. And I don't post a lot of that stuff here on Facebook. I had Connor on the show a few weeks ago. But this show is a Bible-based music business podcast. And so sometimes you just need some reassurance, right? Sometimes you just need somebody to tell you, hey, you know what? You're on the right track. And here's another guy that did it a similar way, without the big budgets, without the big corporate backing, without the big major label deals. And so that's what the music career advice portion is all about. And it's not... There's some advice there, but it's mostly about mindsets, and it's mostly about making sure that you know who you are as an artist, making sure that your morality is in check, making sure that your spirituality is in check, and that you're aware of the larger forces going on in the music landscape. So the first thing we have is an introduction to music theory. This is a big point about music theory, and it's my explanation for why so many people hate music theory. This is the best way I could put it. And this has to do with understanding what is music theory and what it is not. So there's not a whole lot of specific information in here, but this video is about, once you've learned a little bit of your theory, what do you do with that knowledge? How do you apply it? Because otherwise it's just a bunch of information. Otherwise it's just a bunch of knowledge. It's just a bunch of stuff sitting in your head that you may use, you may not use. You're gonna end up forgetting most of it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, what was that thing? That one music theory thing that's gonna save me. It's not. There's nothing really in music theory that you really need to know. It's about learning the stuff for a specific reason. And so that's what this first little video here is about. I go through these three big areas of music theory. We're talking rhythm. We're talking harmony. That's chords. We're talking scales. That's notes. And it's the three big puzzle pieces here of music theory. And then I go through each puzzle piece, and instead of giving you a 45-minute long dissertation, it's like, hey, here's a little bit about rhythm, but here's why we learn rhythm. Here's why we teach rhythm this way. Same goes for the chords. There's no magic chord that you're going to learn that's going to turn you into a great keyboard player. Same goes for scales. Got to learn the stuff, but it's a means to an end. It's a means to an end. Don't be one of these guys that obsesses over music theory and then never actually makes any music. Next, we have an actual course here. This is a course that I put together way back in like March when everything first shut down, because none of my students were coming to class, and I was like, I'm going to get them back. I'm going to get them back, right? And I sat down and I made this 3-part course. All the video, they're not super long. They're like 10 minutes or so. And these are aimed at young kids. So we have the baby level. And it's a 3-part series. There's 3 basic concepts. Once again, this is stuff that I would teach to kids aged 6 to 10 years old. This is not complicated stuff here. Intervals, okay? The distance between notes. It's like you can see I like visual aids, guys. You'll see this in a lot of my videos. You'll see me using props and things like that. 5-1. This is all about chord progressions, okay? And 5-1 is just basically a fancy way of saying tension resolution. So if you ever wondered why certain chords sound good, why certain chords make you feel uneasy, the 5-1 rule right there. And finally, inversions, which is when you take your chord notes, you rearrange them. We got the big boy level. This is a little bit more advanced stuff, okay? This is for the guys that have maybe gotten through the level 1, 2, 3 theory books and the lesson books. And now you might be playing your own music. You might be doing your own recording. You might be wondering, all right, I know how to play scales, all that. How do I really turn it into music? We have a video here about groove. How to hear a groove. How to understand what a groove actually is. How to quantify it exactly. We got scales and modes. This is one of the first videos I did on scales and modes. And what's cool about this one is you can see I got the whiteboard there. You're thinking it's going to be a real big complicated thing where I go through a whole list and I erase it and I give you a whole another list and erase it. Actually, it's one board, and all scales and modes, in my opinion, are simplified into 2 little basic baby categories. And so that's what this video is about, is understanding the 2 main like zones, 2 main groups that all of the scales and modes fit into. So you don't have to really memorize 100,000 modes. You memorize 2, everything else stems from that. Let's keep moving along here. So there's scales and modes. I have little summaries down at the bottom as well. By the way, all of this stuff that I'm teaching here is stuff that I actually use every single time when I go to play. We got the 12-bar blues progression. If you saw the presentation we did on the history of blues music, you may have seen this little portion. Well, I chopped it up, I edited it, made it nice. I put in some visual aids in there, and it's super cool. It's better, a little bit more polished than the live version. Basically a more advanced version of the 5-1 that we talked about a second ago. The blues scale. Again, with the scales modes videos, this was already covered, but this is a little more advanced knowledge on this particular flavor of scale. I also give you my patented, my trademarked Super Blues scale. It's better and cooler than the regular blues scale. Trust me. Finally, here we have, and again, this is barely scratching the surface. There's so much more stuff on the actual YouTube channel that has never even seen the light of day over here on Facebook. Finally, we have how to improvise jazz, scientific improvisation. Again, I took the live cut that we did on over here on Facebook. I took it, I edited it. The audio was a little low on that broadcast, so I went in individually every time when I went and played the keyboard. I turned all of them up. I edited, I mixed it, I mastered it. All of the audio examples, I made it a little shorter. I made it a little sweeter. And I also put in like little titles and graphics and stuff in there. So this is the quintessential definable version of this scientific improvisation video. And finally, over here, we have the energy algorithm, which is another older video, but this one I made more when I learned about how to solo, how to control energy levels, how to begin and end your solos. A lot of teachers don't teach you that. They teach you the middle of the solo. They teach you the scales. They teach you the licks. They teach you the runs. And they don't actually tell you how to put it into context here to where it makes sense. So that's the energy algorithm, which you could use to really just take your solos to the next level. And then when you get to the end of your solo, everybody claps, right? Because no fun when you take a solo. You take your solo and you put so much work into it and you're and nobody claps at the end of it because they were like, is he done? Is he done yet? Was that the end? So that video is about how to actually end it with a bang so that people know when you are done. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. This is just the first tab, folks. All right. It's all about offering value. All right. This is all free content. You don't got to pay nothing to see all of these amazing classes and lectures. I'm too nice. I'm too kind. Videos over here. This is the watch tab. All right. This is just more for entertainment. I got some piano covers. All right. I have my original music here, unfiltered EP. I got manifesto, singles. I have live piano ballad versions of manifesto songs right here. Again, some of this stuff is a little bit old, but we've put it all in one place. We've put it all in one tab for your viewing pleasure. It's all right here. You don't have to scroll through YouTube past all of the videos about Trump and election fraud and Joe Biden and all that. Oh, I forgot. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm going to have to edit that out. I'm not allowed to say the name of the president. It's ridiculous. Okay. Over here, we got the Listen tab. This is music. This is SoundCloud songs. If you click each of these, they will start playing. And you can, again, this is just all free music. And there's a link to the SoundCloud page right there. I haven't updated the SoundCloud in a little while, but you want to bookmark this because I have probably, I don't want to exaggerate here. I probably have 75 new songs that I'm getting ready to drop over there on SoundCloud. That's probably an underestimate, to be honest. All right, next we got the contact page. All of these links will take you to the appropriate site here. The most important one, obviously, is this one all the way on the right. This is the most important one. This is the coolest link. Everybody should go to the site and just go right to the contact page and click that. Why? Because this is the Patreon. Okay, this is where you can have access. Patreon is where you can access all of the stuff that I've deleted, all the stuff that might be boring to some people, but you might say, you know what? This is obviously edited from a way longer thing. I wonder what happened before. And pretty much any song that I put on YouTube nowadays from live performances, there's a portion of it that's maybe a little too long, or maybe the solo, maybe I went a little too outside, right? And I was like, okay, let's keep it simpler. So Patreon, you can join the tier, and you can have access to all the uncut stuff, all of the behind-the-scenes footage, and you know, the secret stuff, the secret sauce, right? And so that's what you get for joining the Patreon. We have the About. This is the biography page. There's classical piece. I should re-upload this on my new channel. I still haven't done that, but This is this is a classical piece from 2007 or something like that, way back in the day. There's a biography here. I'm not going to read all of it. I edited it down a little bit. I cleaned it up a little bit. Down here also we have clips from the live show, because live shows are part of my biography as well, I consider. And there's a playlist here. You can also click this. This takes you to the live performance playlist. So this is every single live show clip that we've done with the band. It goes on and on and on and on. There's the album release here. There's jazz piano legends. There's jazz saxophone legends. There's stuff from Bowie Fest. There's stuff from Blues Alley. There's stuff with Chelsea Taylor. There's classical stuff. There's live versions of studio songs. Everything's there. So that's the playlist. And we just got some highlights here. Jazz piano legends. There's a clip. Jazz saxophone legends featuring Eugene Chapman right there. And of course the album release of Manifesto live at Blues Alley. That's the full concert there. It's like a 30-minute chunk there. And so, finally, last but not least, we got the store. And, you know, if you don't want any of the cool stuff in the store, you can donate, of course, with the donation links here. And then, of course, you get your very own little happy fanfare. By the way, we have an amazing donation. Don't let me forget to do the fanfare for the new donation later. Also, by the way, I'm selling CDs here. Manifesto is now available on CD. It is also available, digital download. I got the other two albums right here. You click these, it takes you to your choice of Spotify, Amazon, Pandora, Apple Music, all of the above. Live recordings. This is just more to support me. If you got a buck, you got a couple of bucks. There's some live audio files here. You kick me a couple bucks, I'll give you an audio file. You can burn it to a CD. You can do what you like with it. And then later, after you listen to the CD, then you can use the CD as a nice drink coaster, or you can play Frisbee with it. It's really cool. You can do a lot of stuff with the CD. So that's basically the site. And one last time, just because I worked so hard on this, and because it's so amazing, I want to show off this this homepage one final time here. Let's look at this. Let's look at this glorious homepage. Look at that, folks. Just look at that. Look at that. Let me know what you think in the comments, right? And of course, we got the new album over here. As I release new ones, they're going to go in this slot, and everything else will get bumped down. So there is the brand new website. It is redesigned from the ground up. It is worthy of search engine optimization. There are keywords stacked upon keywords, stacked upon keywords. I'm going to be taking out some advertising campaigns, so if you see this all over your news feed and all over your sidebars and windows and stuff, my apologies, but gotta get it out there. I don't have a big company doing all this for me. I'm doing it all myself, so that's how it's going to work.